In the entirety of the game's history, Sea of Thieves has gotten a total of 2 new areas since its launch: the Devil's Roar in the Forsaken Shores update, and the Shores of Gold, which added the Island Tribute Peak in the Anniversary update. But ever since then, the map has pretty much stayed the same. Today, however, that will change. Hypothetically. What's up guys, BlueLycanroc here, and welcome to the Sea of Thieves wishlist. A series where I talk about one of my concepts for a potential Sea of Thieves update. Keep in mind this is a wishlist, not a real content update video, so while some ideas shown may end up making it eventually, there's no guarantee. Throughout the month of January and into early February, there will be new episodes of this series, totaling at around 3 or 4. These videos do take a very long time to make, so there might be a bit of time before the next one. But without further ado, let's get into the first idea I ever came up with: Frozen Horizons. The Frozen Horizons update is one of the biggest updates that will come to Sea of Thieves ever. Like, this thing tops the Anniversary update, and that's huge. This update will include a new area of the map, new skeletons, new voyage types, similar to those found in the Devil's Roar, and a new type of skeleton fort called a fortress. I will explain the story behind this update first, and then show how it could be possible in the game. In this hypothetical universe, Frozen Horizons will release in June alongside Season 3. And you may be asking, why in the summer and not the winter? Well, the story behind this content will explain it a little bit better. A mysterious blizzard has been spotted growing stronger and stronger over the course of 2021, and the ferocious Captain Frostblade has been secretly plotting to spread his icy winds throughout the Sea of Thieves and take over what Flameheart had started. Which, if he succeeds, the seas will soon be taken over by frozen waters and uninhabitable temperatures. This update will feature a new area of the map to explore north of the Shores of Plenty, called the Wild Tundra. This area is in fact the coveted ice zone that everyone's been wanting since the Devil's Roar update. Frostblade's growing storm has parted the fog, allowing access to any pirate who dares enter this dangerous new area. It will feature brand new weather patterns in the form of a blizzard. The blizzard is basically the storm of the Wild Tundra, and will behave a lot differently than that of the normal storm. Instead of rain, it will rain down shards of ice that will slowly damage your pirate if you stay out too long, and eventually if you stay in the blizzard for too long, it will start to damage your ship. So try to stay away from the blizzards. There will be a total of 9 islands in the Wild Tundra. 1 outpost, 3 big islands, 4 smaller islands, and 1 new type of island called the Fortress, where Captain Frostblade can be found. Starting at the outpost, this is one that players will actually have to sail to, so you can't really randomly spawn here. Sorry, server hoppers. The landscape is covered in ice and snow. Every one of the vendors can be seen with the strange icy curse, similar to the Ashen Curse, but, you know, more icy. They got the frostbitten fingers. I'm getting ahead of myself here. And just like the Devil's Roar, the vendors will offer new types of voyages that task players of exploring this new area and discovering the secrets hidden within. And each one of these new voyages comes with a different type of loot that can only be found in the Wild Tundra: glacial chests, skulls, and crates. But besides the new voyages, the similarities between the Devil's Roar and the Wild Tundra end, because this isn't no Devil's Roar 2.0. At the top of the outpost, there is a mysterious cavern hidden out of sight from the rest of the outpost. If explored, you will find one of Frostblade's glacial skeletons that is all caged up, just like the Reaper emissary skeleton. If talked to, the skeleton will offer you a mysterious quest for 1,000 gold in return. If the fee is paid, you will embark on a new raid-style voyage called the Frozen Throne. The trap skeleton lets you in on the secret that Frostblade is planning to freeze the Sea of Thieves once and for all, and it's up to you and your crew to stop him. This voyage will be the hardest voyage in the game so far, where you and your crew must work together to stop Frostblade, venturing into his mighty fortress. Once your crew arrives, a few waves of the new glacial skeletons will emerge. From a gameplay perspective, the glacial skeletons are just like the regular bone skeletons. They just look really cool. Things are looking just like a normal skull fort until Frostblade himself swings down from the top of the fortress and interrupts the fight, thrusting his sword into the ground, causing every skeleton in the area to disappear and knocking everyone back. His attack causes a blizzard to start around the island and preventing your escape. But before you can attack him, however, he retreats into the fortress and the real journey begins. To get to Frostblade's lair, your crew will be tasked with solving randomized puzzles, so no two voyages are the same, platforming across hidden caverns, discovering secrets hidden within the fortress, and eventually facing off against Frostblade in a 3-stage fight similar to a raid boss in a game like Destiny 2, where you have to coordinate with your team if you actually want to succeed. Since I'm not a professional game developer, I can't really make any visual representation of this fight, but I can describe it the best way I could. Stage 1 will include the simple action of damaging the boss and avoiding his attacks, which include throwing shards of ice at the player, a heavy sword swing which will push everyone backwards, and an attack where he thrusts his sword into the ground and brings up his skeleton minions. Pretty similar to the Ashen Lords in a way, but Stage 2 is where it actually starts to get interesting. Stage 2 of the fight begins when Frostblade starts to gather energy in the middle of the room to start a huge blizzard. Once Stage 2 begins, a special ancient sculpture will appear in the corner of the room, and if inspected, it will show you the location of this ancient rune. Once dug up, you have to take the rune back to the sculpture and place it into the correct position in order to stun Frostblade, which allows players to damage him. This action continues 3 times, or until the players have done enough damage to him to move on to Stage 3. And if not enough damage is dealt in the amount of time given, Frostblade will finish his attack and completely wipe the team, causing them to start over from the beginning of Stage 1. Stage 3 begins when Frostblade is damaged enough and he starts to get desperate, slamming his sword down into the middle of the room and splitting the arena into 2 separate sections, dividing the team into 2 groups. This will begin the timer, where the 2 groups have to complete a platforming puzzle before the whole room collapses. In this puzzle, there are always 3 different paths to take, one marked with a symbol above it. How to figure out which way to go is actually found on the opposite team, so both teams will have to work together, looking at the walls as they go, and calling out which symbol to go through for each team. Stage 3 of the fight is called Frostblade's Gauntlet, and this is the only one that actually has a name because it's a separate encounter, where you have to venture all the way back up the fortress before the entire thing collapses on itself. Once you reach the first room that you entered, you will see Frostblade there in a weakened state, where you can finally pick up his sword and deal the finishing blow to his frozen heart, stopping the curse around the fortress and allowing you to escape. After defeating him, Frostblade drops a special rune, similar to the ones that you were digging up in the second stage, but this one unlocks the fortress vault found in the first room of the actual fortress. This vault is very special because it opens up on the other side, back into the world and allowing your loot to be piled on your ship a whole lot easier. This special exit can be found by finding a hidden lever somewhere inside the vault. But that's not all, however. This fortress has a very rare chance to drop a new item called an enchanted scroll. This new item, if taken back to the caged skeleton, will unlock one new random cosmetic from this new set. This new set includes a usable version of Frostblade's sword, new ship and pirate cosmetics, and if you're lucky, a glacial curse, which you've seen the vendors have. But there is a rarer version of the enchanted scroll, however. This version is much harder to find, and is called the Ancient Scroll. If found, you will be marked on the map for the entire world to see, with a very bright beacon shooting out from the Ancient Scroll. And this is for a very good reason, because once acquired, you have a certain amount of time to run it over to Golden Sands Outpost without getting sunk by other players. If your ship sinks, those pirates who sank you can turn it in for themselves and reap the rewards. Now, this is pretty much the chase item that everyone's gonna be going after in this update, because the rewards are absolutely amazing. Getting this scroll and turning it in at the shipwright at Golden Sands Outpost will unlock a very important choice of a new cosmetic, which will be between a brand new set of sails, which will be the rarest in the game, since the only way you can get them is from this ancient scroll. But if you're not interested in that, you can also choose between a piece of the elusive ferryman set, which came with the Sea of Thieves Xbox controller back at launch, or a random obsidian cosmetic that you haven't already unlocked yet, including the Midnight Blunderbuss, the pistol, or a piece of the Black Dog set. Once the fortress has been completed for the very first time, the ability to obtain the extremely rare Ancient Scroll from any world event will unlock, though the highest chance of unlocking this Ancient Scroll will be from the fortress itself, encouraging players to play through it multiple times, getting all the different endings, and discovering all of the hidden secrets hidden within. And over in the Pirate Emporium, I don't know, man, I don't really have time to come up with this stuff for the Emporium. How about a dog with a skeleton bone? Yeah, that'll work. Look at how cute he is. The Frozen Horizons update is a gigantic update, and that's why it is on the wish list. Within this hypothetical universe where this update actually comes out, it will include tons of new cosmetics, voyages, a new area, the Wild Tundra, and the fortress. This entry into the Sea of Thieves wishlist is a combination of over a year of different ideas, all compiled into one video. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this video, and if you have any ideas of your own you would like to share. I would love to hear from all of you. If you liked it, help support the channel by liking the video, and consider subscribing. We are well on our way to becoming a Sea of Thieves partner, so thank you everyone for your continued support. I stream over on Twitch every Tuesday and Friday at 1 PM Pacific currently, so check me out on there if you ever want to come and hang out sometime. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I will see you out on the seas.